Imagine getting a call from a man, his voice trembling, filled with tears, confessing to a murder he just committed. He says, "God, I'm so sorry, I can't stop myself." And then he hangs up. No name, no reason. Just the sound of someone crying over a horrific crime. This isn't fiction. This was Paul Michael Stephani, later known as the Weepy-Voiced Killer, one of America's strangest serial murderers, who terrorized Minnesota during the 1980s. The first call, a cry for guilt 1980. It began on New Year's Eve, 1980. A young nurse named Karen Patak was found brutally beaten behind a church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Moments after the attack, the police received a phone call. A man, crying uncontrollably, said, "There's a girl hurt, please, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again." The voice was high-pitched, trembling, desperate. He told them where to find her, and hung up. The victim survived, but she had no memory of the attack. It was the beginning of something much darker. The pattern of tears. A few months later, another woman, Kimberly Compton, an 18-year-old student, met a man at a bus stop. He offered her dinner, and she accepted. Hours later, her body was found stabbed more than 60 times. And then, the phone rang again. Same voice, same sobbing tone. "I killed her. I can't believe it. I'm so sorry. Double quotes. The police recorded the call, but technology was limited. They couldn't trace it in time. All they knew was that the man was consumed by guilt, and yet couldn't stop killing. The police hunt detectives realized they were dealing with someone who had a compulsive urge, not just to kill, but to confess. The media nicknamed him the Weepy-Voiced Killer. For months, police stations across Minnesota were flooded with leads, but none brought them closer. He changed his method, his locations, but not his voice. He kept calling. Every time he killed, he cried. Every time he cried, he called. Killer's mind experts who later studied the case said the killer's guilt was real, but twisted. He wanted forgiveness, but he also wanted to be heard. Every call was like a performance, part confession, part cry for attention. It was as if he wanted the world to see how sorry he was, but not sorry enough to stop. The final victim, in August 1982, 40-year-old Barbara Simons, was found murdered near a Minneapolis bar. She had told a friend she was going to meet a man she'd just met. Witnesses described him as polite but nervous, with soft brown hair and a shaky voice. That same night, police received yet another chilling call. "Please don't talk, just listen. I'm sorry for what I did to Barbara. I can't stop myself. The crying was louder, the guilt sounded deeper. But this time, he'd made a mistake. The trap. A few days later, another woman, Denise Williams, was attacked, but she fought back. She scratched, kicked, and screamed until bystanders saw the struggle and called police. The attacker fled, but left a trail of blood behind. That blood led to Paul Michael Stephani, a janitor who lived quietly, alone, and had previously worked near the murder sites. When police compared his voice to the weepy calls, it was a match. The arrest and confession. During questioning, Stephani at first denied everything, but when officers played back his own tearful phone calls, he broke down. He said, "It's me. I just couldn't stop crying. I didn't want them to die." He was sentenced to 40 years in prison for murder and attempted murder. Years later, when dying of cancer in 1997, Stephani confessed to 2 more killings, just to clear his conscience. The legacy of fear. The Weepy-Voiced Killer remains one of America's most bizarre criminals, a man who wept for his victims, yet continued to kill. Psychologists still debate whether he was truly remorseful or simply addicted to the attention. But one thing is clear: his trembling, tearful voice haunts everyone who has heard those recordings. Even today, the tapes are used in criminal psychology to study guilt-driven psychopaths. They reveal the disturbing truth. Sometimes, monsters cry too. Do you think Paul Stephani truly felt remorse, or were those tears just another mask for evil? Tell us what you believe, because sometimes, a killer's voice reveals more than his crimes. If this true story sent chills down your spine, don't walk away just yet. Subscribe now. More real-life horrors and unsolved mysteries await in the shadows.